Good afternoon. Thank you for that latent round of applause.
Enthusiastic.
How are you today?
I'm all right. I was just standing over by the fan, letting it fan me down, and discussing the wheres and wherefores of those little hand fans that you can get.
Oh, right, yes. Now that goes back to Sex and the City, but I'll tell you about that later.
All right, okay.
Because we'd mentioned ski pants. Well, you don't wear leggings, do you?
I don't wear leggings or jeggings.
Do you wear a short?
I do wear a short, but they're denim shorts, but they're just like wearing
Daisy
jeans.
Dukes?
Yes, like that.
Are they kind of like denim hot pants?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
But
Nice and hoary.
My legs are so white that it's...
They're almost racist.
Yeah, pretty much.
Racistly white legs.
Translucent blue kind of running through
the colour of Larry Dean.
Yes, exactly.
For any of the listeners, Larry's fine. I've hooked him back up to dialysis.
Oh, good.
So I'm hoping he'll be okay. Well, I had a terrible to do in a hoo-ha last night. I got to see Jinx Monsoon's show, and my sunscreen was falling into my eyes, and I was with my niece, Kara, and I said to Katie, have you got a tissue? And she went like that, no, I've only got a panty pad. And I had to sit with a panty pad wiping my eyes as Jinx ridiculed me for having chlamydia, which I've never had.
No, but you've had gonorrhea.
I've had gonorrhea. Totally by accident, it wasn't my fault. Lenka knows what I'm talking about.
Did you feel self-conscious with the panty pad in your eye, or was it quite comforting?
No, because I was sitting, it was quite awkward actually, because there was, as you can see, I'm a larger lady myself, but there was a larger lady bear who was larger, and I felt he was really trying to make himself a bit small. I said, just lean into me. Now, I never do that, but I thought it's going to be a long hour. And he was just a bit too big to be, nice enough guy and all that kind of stuff. But then, of course, because of the chlamydia thing, I started laughing. I know, which I rarely fucking do because nothing amuses me other than misery and other people. And I couldn't stop. It was embarrassing, but it was a good show.
Well, so where was the show on?
The show was in the Palais Spiegel tent thing in the Assembly Gardens. And can I just say hello to the guy behind the bar that looked like Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Nice.
Because, oh, God, love that. But by the way, £40 for a bottle of wine and 2 double gin and tonics.
No.
38.60. Shocking, isn't it?
That is shocking.
And he went, oh, I can't give you the bottle. So we'd scoop the gin, but just pour the wine in there. No, it has to come out this porter thing. And I said, listen, you do you. That's all fine. I mean, it took 5 minutes. God love him. But the people in there were so smelly.
Oh, see,
really disgusting.
That's what's happening in this heat and the lack of air conditioning is the waft of body odour is quite overwhelming.
Oh, these people were honking. I don't think they'd seen a flannel in many a moon.
No, absolutely
just disgusting.
Although, having said that, I went to the Johnny Walker Experience, which is on Princess Street.
Oh, yes.
That now has an event room upstairs, and they've started doing a pick of the fringe thingamajig.
Oh, have you been booked?
Have a hell.
No, neither have I. And I like a whiskey.
Although they did say they were good. Anyway, neither here nor there. They did have somebody called Magical Bones on, who's absolutely brilliant. Blew me away. Magical Bones. Very good.
Apparently the thing
not as good as Elliot, but nearly.
So there's another girl, is it Gabby Holt? I was at House of Oz last night. Lovely Antipodean venue. They had lamingtons, kangaroo. This woman was trying to get me to eat kangaroo, and I said, I'm not doing that. I mean, I was fine with a bit of cow.
It'll taste like chicken.
You what?
It'll taste like chicken.
Well, apparently she said that kangaroos are sustainable. And I said, but it's not sustainable for the kangaroo because that dies.
Yes, no, exactly. That's like when you see on the side of packages, when you see on fag packets, they compare a healthy lung with a diseased lung that smoked. And you go, but you're both dead, clearly, because you've got the lungs. So it doesn't matter how healthy it looks, not smoking fags, it's still a dead lung.
I knew someone that lived in a very strange flat with an ensuite kitchen. And she was an alcoholic and nearly died because hot dogs went into her lungs. And her name was Kerry McCreary. So anyway, that's my thing for today.
And we have a lovely couple. We've got the lovely people here.
Yeah. Oh, you've run out of pads.
Got some.
Do you know though, the toilets here, it was lovely coming in today because the girl on the door hadn't a clue who we fucking were. And went, hi, do you have a ticket? And we went, bitch, we're the hosts. Could you move along? The selection of feminine, you might be interested in this, feminine hygiene products. They have, and do you know what they call interlude? Isn't that nice? It's almost romantic. Yes. Interlude. How's your interlude? It's heavy.
Yes. 7-day interlude.
Yes. Oh,
Oh, I'm lucky I don't get them anymore.
Oh, you've stopped, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely given up on that.
I'm still.
Are you still
Yeah, I'm still on.
menstruating?
I'm a very heavy flow. A heavy flow
That
of pish.
explains your moods.
Well, exactly. Shall we have a guest on?
Shall we? That would be
Shall
lovely.
we? Shall we invite Red up to the stage? Come on, can we have a
Lovely.
huge round of applause?
We've got the wonderful Red Richardson.
And ironically, Red, you're wearing black.
I feel
Oh
that
my
Red
God,
is
I
lovely.
don't know what's before and what's after.
Yes, it does.
And Elliot Bibby, well, he's diseased up the back. He's very thin. How are you, Red? Red, how did you get called Red?
My mum and dad watched a cowboy movie 2 days after I was born.
Oh, it's your real name?
Yeah.
Oh, this is outrageous.
Yeah.
Oh my God, why?
There's a character in a Clint Eastwood film, and he was drunk, and he's only in it for 3 minutes, and Clint beats him up and then shoots him, and he was called Red.
Oh, that's lovely. And they thought that'd be nice
thought
for a
that
little
too.
lovely baby boy.
Yeah, they could have called me
Wow.
Clint, but they didn't.
So it's not even short for anything.
No.
Red?
No,
Okay.
it's just commoner garden red.
Yeah.
No, but that's. And did it cause you any problems at school, or did people just think it was unusual?
No, it still does.
It still causes you
I got
problems.
flyered by a comedian
Name
yesterday.
them.
I can't remember their name. I saw them got a bad review. It made me quite happy.
Oh, good. Yes, we love it when something bad happens.
If you
to
could try
someone,
and
yes.
remember.
Yeah. No, he came up and he said yesterday, he's like, "What's your name?" And I said red. And he went, "Oh, my favourite colour's blue." And I just went, "Okay." About 45. But it is like whenever you go somewhere, they'll go, "Oh, Ray," and I just let them have it because I can't be bothered to
Yeah.
go through.
But you would have thought, with a name like Red, which is unusual, and you like to stand out in comedy, you want to have a name that is different from other people's.
Yeah.
There's another bloody Red on the comedy circuit called Red Redmond.
It's not his real name, though.
No,
is it?
I know, and I think you should challenge him and
I
make him stop.
should.
But that's the same with Bunty Morton, with Bruce Morton. His name's Ian.
Ian, yes.
Do you remember Bruce Morton?
No.
He's held together by, I think, hope. And he was a big thing in the 80s. He was
Yeah.
quite groundbreaking, I think, for the
Oh,
time.
very much so. Farm, something.
Funny Farm.
Funny Farm
Funny
was
Farm.
very
Okay.
revolutionary on BBC Scotland. and,
Okay.
yeah, it was good.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. So yes, no, they're very much like him and Stu, who and various other people were all involved with.
Oh, I've no
with
idea,
Funny
but
Farm.
he had to change his name for Equity or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, uh-huh.
And what? So he picked Bruce Morton.
Yeah, exactly.
Really,
I mean, it's not
yeah.
particularly inventive, is it? And he doesn't look like a bunty, because that's
No.
my nickname.
No,
I look like a
absolutely.
bunty.
If
I
you
am a
say
bunty.
so.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yeah, that's
I think
actually-
I'm a Jojo, which is short for Joanna.
Yeah.
And yes, so but people think I've made up that name. It's just been a
So
nickname.
you're like one of the
sometimes.
Paltrow kids with a quite unusual apple, red.
Well, my
red
brother's
apple.
Called, my brother's called Jack and my sister's called Alice, so it's just.
Oh,
me.
do you feel as though they'd be taking the piss?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if I had a child, I'd call it Mauve.
Would
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
And then followed by Lilac. Oh, kids called Mauve and Lilac could be nice.
I'm sure we should adopt some. It's not like we're doing anything else.
Now, I have a question for you. It has recently been announced that Mock the Week are no longer going to be, there'll be no more seasons of Mock the Week, and I believe that you were doing writing for them. Are you livid and furious?
No.
Oh, good.
I couldn't give less
Delighted.
of a shit.
Oh, excellent.
Get rid of all of them. I
Yes,
think. Yeah, it's so boring. It's been going on too long.
Do you know something? It's so refreshing to hear that
Yeah.
because it's not just the fact I've never been asked on, but it is the fact that, and it's the same with Have I Got News for You? They just look as
don't
though they're
care.
dead inside.
Yeah.
And
They
It
do
does-
though, don't they?
It feels regurgitated and just flogged. It feels like they've been flogging a dead horse for
It's
quite
the
some
same
time.
thing, and they don't. There's no proper. They make way for some good sitcoms or something. Let's
Yeah.
do something new. Just four people behind a thing doing sort of quips for half an hour. It's so boring.
Yeah.
I actually feel a bit when I accidentally come. I go, oh God.
Gives you a bit of a
Yeah.
that
Do you
queasy
feel bad
feeling.
for taking that money?
No, not at
No,
all.
no.
How
Good,
much
good.
do they pay for writing? Is it on a sliding scale of how much gets used? Or?
Yeah, it depends what you're doing.
Right.
But not that much. I secretly wrote for two people on the same show. They didn't know.
Oh.
So I wrote.
See, I love that because I think that's something that people I know within industry we know it happens, but I think your general public aren't particularly aware that a lot of comedians that go on panel shows like that then employ somebody to write jokes for them
Yeah.
for the show.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
No, they do. You heard
They
it
do.
here first.
And some people get the writers to write their solo shows. Now that really is taking the piss.
Not naming
it
names,
is.
but I can well imagine who.
Yeah, guess who don't sue?
Well, absolutely. Nanny's off. So, do you write all your own stuff? for
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Would you have anyone else write for you?
No.
Do you know what? I just don't think it would sound like you.
No,
You
it
would be
doesn't.
learning a script.
I just also think it's cheating. I just
Yeah.
genuinely, I think it's absolutely cheating. By all means, I mean, there's been many a time, I've sat and written with people we've been kind of bouncing ideas off, and certainly, I've done it for other people, and people have done it for me, that I've done a joke, and they go, oh, God, I just thought of a line for that.
Yeah, yeah.
That, absolutely, perfect. That works, that kind of collaboration. But if you actually get somebody to write your Edinburgh show and then take ownership of it, lying cunts.
Well, I remember once, and I won't name the person, Barbara Nice.
Yeah.
No, but she did, right? So this is what happened, right? Barbara Nice, she was like, oh, love, she went, I really like that line you do about take a breath. And I said, yeah, well, you can't have it. And my partner at the time went, he's only got 3 jokes. Fuck off. Like, leave him alone. And the next thing, she started using it. We went to see her show, and she did, oh, I've just been reading Take a Break, and there's a brilliant story in it, 3 in the bed, and 1 was dead. And she winked at me, and I went, you fucking boot. Stop it. I did not consent to that at all. Or give me some of your box office.
I can't imagine why the listenership of this has gone up 217% in a week.
It's true. You know, nothing.
When we tell stories like this.
No, I've nothing against her personally other than you stole one of my jokes. Like, you shouldn't do that.
No, you shouldn't. Oh, no, that is the biggest crime in comedy.
Yeah,
Has anyone ever stolen from you, Red?
Don't think so. I saw a guy with exactly the same joke as me once. And I said, oh, I do the same. And he went, oh. But I just said, whatever, let's just see who gets it out there first. But I don't think anyone's stolen off me.
No.
But for my show this year, I had my mate who came into a preview and gave me notes. But that's not giving someone jokes.
And I think that actually that's really an important part of the process, because once you're into something and you're writing it, it's then difficult to be objective once you start telling the joke, and it does take a sort of another eye to go, oh, you could do that. That's great. Oh no, I think that is perfectly healthy and
it's good
for
to
the
do,
art form. But just straightforward writing for somebody else. You should be ashamed of yourself being part of the fucking turgid bullshit that this industry is. But no, take the money.
Is he not allowed to earn a living, for goodness sake?
We have to, because gigs don't pay enough and petrol's too expensive.
I know.
But that's the thing with a lot of places, the money hasn't gone up for however long.
Yeah.
And some outfits now have new ways of running things for you to do the same thing but at a lower rate and all that kind of stuff. It's like a living hell.
Yeah.
But then we have employment limiting honesty, apparently.
Yeah, career
limiting. So we wouldn't fit in a job, a Mick job, if you see what I mean. God, could you imagine me? Really, in a supermarket, I would glass someone.
You wouldn't last at all. You wouldn't get employed in the first place.
I mean, I remember actually going into Morrison's. You know who Kylie Minogue is, clearly.
Yeah.
And she brought out wine. Don't buy it. It's pish, by the way. And I went up to the guy. He was a young guy, and I said, do you have any of the Morrison's exclusive on the Kylie Minogue Rosé Provençal wine? And he went, who's Kylie Minogue? I said, this is homophobia. I'd like to speak to a manager. I thought that was absolutely outrageous. Know your customer base.
How are you enjoying your festival this year? Is it nice to be back?
It's good to be back. I don't think I'll ever do it again.
Really?
Yeah.
And has this year made you decide that?
Yeah, I thought that before I came here.
Right, okay.
Because I don't think it matters anymore. I don't enjoy it. It's the only time I analyse my gigs in a way I shouldn't. It's the only time I don't enjoy comedy, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Because you're waiting to do, like I did a gig last night, had a reviewer and it was a good gig, but now I have to wait 24 hours to decide whether it was a good gig or not in the eyes of someone, you know?
Of one person.
Of one person.
Yeah.
And so it's just unnecessary. And I think with the internet and stuff, as we said with panel shows, people used to come up here to get on them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many people are watching them. And look, panel shows, if you enjoy them, great, but I don't think every TV show needs to be that. And at the moment, it does feel like there's like 12 of them. So maybe let's have 2, you know.
No,
but
absolutely.
I don't think people are getting... I think you could come up here, get 5 stars from every reviewer, win the award, or you could release 5 bits of stand-up on the internet and sell more tickets off the back of that.
Well, it's definitely, we're cutting out the middleman, getting straight to your audience, building up your own following and doing it through social media, etc. is working. I mean, there's There's proven track record of that.
Of
with a lot of
course.
But
people.
do you know something? That genuinely is so refreshing to hear you say that. Not that I'm saying that I'm a negative Nancy or whatever, but to have that honesty, because it can be like a living hell.
Yeah.
Particularly, if you're at the mercy of your promoter, your venue, you're worried about flyers, you're worried about sales, you're worried about one person's subjective opinion.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that I do like Kate Copstick, because Kate Copstick is one of these people that can say, I went to see Jojo and Bruce, it was packed out, because she's a liar. And, I didn't find it funny, but I was the only person in the room that didn't. So she's really honest.
Yeah.
Because I've interviewed her a few times, and there just doesn't seem to be that level of honesty. But I'm with you. I don't think I'll do it next year. I'm just
No, and it doesn't. For 11 months of the year, I feel like a professional comedian. I come up here and you go, this just isn't for me, to be honest. I don't feel it sort of doesn't. And you'll do gigs to sort of theatre crowds and you go, that was horrible.
Yeah.
And then someone will come up and go, really enjoyed that. And it's like, well, you've just lived in my head for the last hour.
I know, what is that all about?
Yeah.
We had people in, it was a busy day, one row was filled, and there was 2 people at the end, and that girl looked as though she was about to fucking take her own life.
Really? Well,
she
she was in your eye line. I couldn't see her.
No, she was directly there, and I thought, she's looking at a vein. She's picking a vein to open. I thought, oh my God, we're going to have someone die at the show. And then at the end, she was laughing away, and I went, what's wrong with you? And she went, oh no, it was really good. And you're like, bitch, please.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the heat does have it. I mean, it is.
No, Jojo, come on. No, sorry, that's nonsense. It's nothing to do with the bloody heat.
Well, that's what I'm using as an excuse for my audience. I just sat for an hour and went,
Yeah, it's horrible.
Was that not Tuesday?
I can't remember. I don't know what day it is now. That's the other thing about Edinburgh. You lose track of days. You don't know what you do.
It's too long as well.
Everything just kind of blends into the other. It's so...
Even my Sainsbury's here is more expensive than the one in London. I must put it up for the Fringe.
Now, that's interesting, because I have a friend that I'll remain nameless, Michelle McManus, and she was through doing something for Radio 4 yesterday, and she said that she went, we had 2 burgers and 2 non-alcoholic beers, and it was 50 quid, and we were £20 a park, and I went, right, okay. I said, but you were co-hosting a thing on Radio 4, so I don't have that much sympathy for you. But she genuinely, and I think the prices have gone up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think because this is the first one proper, and obviously they have a captive audience, they can charge what they like for anything.
Although I have to say, I have a little routine in the morning when I come here. I get off the bus, Surgeons Hall, go into the Greggs, get a cheese and onion bake, coffee and a Ribena, and I sit there, and it's £4.57. I mean, it's really cheap. I think their till's broken, and they don't know that they're not. They're
That's an
undercharging
unusual
massively.
amount of money for 3 items.
Isn't it? But I've never paid more than £5, and it doesn't seem to matter what I get. If I get an orange juice and it's under.
Are you in Greg's this Fringe?
No.
No, get in.
Greg's,
Apparently that's where the bargains
Yeah.
are.
Top tip.
It's the nearest thing we'll get to Harrods Food Hall this month.
Now, where is your show on, Red?
Pleasance Bunker 1 at 9:55.
And what is it like in there, heating-wise? It's comfy
Hot.
seats in Bunker 1.
I think they're all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
'cause
sat on
it was
but
nice.
it's
Oh,
hot.
that Bummers in Bunker one.
Which
Large and
bummer?
by. The Welsh guy. What was his name?
Oh, Morgan Rees.
There we go. Morgan. Lovely
is-
man.
yes.
Lovely man. Where's
Yeah.
nail polish, though?
I think it was Laura Davison in Bunker 1 as well. There was somebody else. There's
Yeah.
a good few comics.
Yeah,
in
no, it's
there.
good, and I've enjoyed it. I just sort of, I have enjoyed it. I'm not hating my time. I just think, will I come back for? It's a lot to put in.
Do you go and watch anybody else when you're
No.
here?
No, and I
Ever?
think that's
I-
very wise.
I watched a friend yesterday because they had a reviewer in, but I will watch some. I'll go see my mates' shows and
Yeah.
stuff. But no, not really. I just sort of try because I'm living in the student accommodation, like half an hour walk out of town.
Right.
So I don't really see many people because my show's on late, and so in the day I don't really do much.
So what time is it on at night?
9:55.
Right, okay. Oh, that is quite late.
Yeah, and so when I've finished, it's 11, and then you end up having a few beers, and it's 4 in the morning.
Yeah, and then it's the Loft Bar. Have you been up Loft Bar, Abattoir, done all that yet?
No, yeah, I went for one pint in the Loft Bar. I've been to the Brooks Bar.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't ventured there yet.
Tish.
No.
Oh,
I've never been a fan of the Brooks Bar. I do occasionally
is that
pop
thing in the dome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like walking into a hangover. It's horrible. It's strange lights. Oh, it is. It's one of the just scum. Oh, my God. And the smell of those curly chips.
Oh.
Oh, honking. I'd rather kick in a roll and eat it.
I have to say the Loft Bar's not doing food at the moment, which is irritating.
Well, they weren't doing service the other day. Walked in and said,
true.
did any bar start? No. I was like, all right, okay.
Well, they've
No.
turned it into a media hub until 4 o'clock where people can go and do
What a load
interviews.
of Why do you
nice.
buy into that crap?
I don't.
Good.
I go and irritate them by lying splayed out on a beanbag, interrupting their.
Well, as long as you're
shoot.
not flicking your own bean on the beanbag, I'm sure we'd all be happy. Red, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy
you
the
very
rest
much.
of your
Cheers,
festival.
guys. Thank you.
There we go. Thank you for your honesty and your candour. Now, Alice, can we be tempting you up?
Oh,
Oh,
come
don't
on,
look at the bear.
Alice.
I'm giving you a command, Alice. Come on, my love. Come on. Look at you.
How
You're like
are
a
you?
nymph. A Grecian nymph. Hello.
Hello, Alice. I'm still sitting. I'm being lazy.
Alice, are you wearing a coconut-based body lotion?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? I can
Okay,
smell it.
no.
It's nice.
Thank you.
It's nice.
Thank you.
I always like the coconut-based products, actually.
Oh, you
yes.
gotta love it. Yeah.
Do you know who did the best one, actually? Waitrose, and then they discontinued it.
Really?
I know, I complained. It wasn't taken seriously.
No, nothing's happened.
I'm
Where-
loving
where-
this
where are you-
honesty.
Well, absolutely. Well, I think you have to be honest, don't you?
I mean, the
got it.
clue is in the name.
Yeah.
Although I've always been surprised because it's not attached to anything, that sign. I keep
Oh, no,
thinking
you're gonna
it's-
jinx it now.
I know it's going to fall
gonna
on
jinx
someone,
it.
but
It's
it's
all
not
right.
going to be me.
Now,
How
Alice,
are
I'm
you?
loving your look.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm loving the headpiece.
Yeah.
It's very Frida.
You're all
Yeah.
very well put together, including the blue nail varnish.
Oh, thank you. I got my show written on my nails.
Oh,
It's
wow.
called Wet.
Now, Alice, I see
Yeah?
Birkenstocks. Is
You
there
see-
anything you'd like to tell me?
I've got smelly feet.
Okay, that's
Right.
fine. That's the same as being
We're
a lesbian.
honest.
And I'm joshing lesbians out there, for goodness sake.
Yes, calm yourselves.
I actually like my best friend in college is a lesbian, and she taught me about Birkenstocks,
Yes.
and they're brilliant. Yeah, they're so comfortable.
I've never heard of Birkenstocks, so again.
You haven't heard of a lot, though. You are quite a
I
single-minded
genuinely
individual.
think I've gone through. I don't think I've had a sheltered life by any stretch of the imagination in terms of my life experience, but in terms of things that I'm clueless. What is a Birkenstock and what's so great about them?
It's like it's a heavy shoe. Like I used to buy flip flops a lot, and they used to fall apart. And I thought I would invest in some like open toe footwear. It's very sturdy. It has like lifted arches. You get support. You know, you get
You
emotional
have to
support.
break them in, though, don't you? Because they're
You
quite sore
do.
in the beginning. I have a
Yeah.
lovely pair of camouflage ones.
Well, that's the thing about being a woman, isn't it? You
Well,
know?
yes, you have to break everything in.
We do.
You do. You do.
Again, you know more about being a woman than I
Well, of
do.
course I do.
Much
I've said this all
better
month.
at it.
I'm a hybrid. I'm a hybrid. No, I do. I think it's because I come from a single-parent family. So, because someone said, do you think if your father had lived with you, you'd still be the way you were? And I was like, well, I was gay in the scrotum, so I don't think that would have
Yes.
changed. You know, I think I was always going to be a nightmare. I was always going to push my own agenda. I probably just would have left home much earlier than 15. Probably would have left about 12.
You made several attempts to leave. but
I
kept-
did. Unsuccessfully did it.
I met Bruce's brother for the first time properly, and he was explaining a time because his brother was a police officer that basically had to they picked him up in a police car and took him home.
So long shot
No.
before we get back to your show, because
Yeah.
clearly it is
No,
about
I
you,
love
my
this,
darling.
though. This is great.
I was a teenage runaway. I was heavily influenced by Madonna. I bleached my hair.
Beautiful.
I'd set it on Velcro rollers. I looked fucking stunning. Stick thin, and, you know, I was a real goer. And he picked me up. They got social work in. But then what he didn't tell you was I had to go and see this social worker again, who was sitting, touching himself in his car with a pornographic ladies' magazine. And I said, I'm not coming in. And he went, why? I went, not into women.
Wow.
And that is no word of a lie. So,
Oh my gosh.
Nick.
so that's what happens in suburban Dundee, Alice.
That is beautiful. What a beautiful town.
Now tell us
Yeah.
what's going on with your show, my love.
My show is called Wet, and it is a
Wet?
Wet.
Oh,
Yeah.
filth. I love it.
Well, it was originally going to be about acroaerobics, and that's what I wrote it about at first. But then a lot of stuff happened to my vagina.
Oh, do
Now,
tell.
now, just before we go any further,
Yeah.
was this self-induced? I take it consent?
Kind of. I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, the NHS did it. Like, you
Oh,
know.
what have the NHS done to your vag?
Have they ruined it?
Oh, they were in it together.
Oh.
Like, what happened?
Crowded.
Yeah, I got the coil. In.
Ouch.
Yeah. Have you had the coil?
I had the coil. The most agony. I've given birth to 4 children, and I would rather have given birth to 4 children simultaneously than having the coil fitted.
That's cool. Yeah.
Fucking agony.
They don't talk about that. They don't talk about that at all. So for me, I got the coil in. Well, there were several things that happened during it, but like, it's so funny because when you get your letter about the coil, they're like, "Oh, you take a few painkillers and you can go back to work that afternoon." I know you've had the coil too, but you know yourself. Yeah,
I have. Don't exclude me.
Oh, it's agony going in. It's agony while it's there, and it's the worst pain bringing it out again.
What's what's the most painful thing you've ever done?
That is a very loaded question, and good luck with the answer.
Be honest.
The most painful thing that I've done is actually... Sorry? How many? The most painful thing I've done is actually get to know the real me.
Oh.
Yeah,
You've had
really
a hemorrhoid
tricky.
incident.
No, I got my hemorrhoid done on Monday.
Right, okay.
So I haven't had the need for... Well, actually... Because I had a torn meniscus.
Okay.
And my leg locked while I was driving. That was quite painful because I was worried I was going to crash. Yes.
Herbie fully loaded.
Well, absolutely, yeah. So, no, I don't think I've had anything painful. My vag is fine.
Oh, good.
It's
But the coil is like incredibly painful, and like for me, what happened to me was there was some definite red flags for my mental health after I got the coil in.
Oh, okay.
First off, I downloaded a game called The Sims, which was a definite red flag. And then there was a little voice that told me to throw myself under a train. So many red flags.
Oh,
so many red
wow.
flags.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
have
did you
ever
listen
felt-
to the little? Did you listen to the
clearly
voice?
not, Jojo.
No, well, she might have
Yeah, I
done.
survived. I
Good for
survived the
you.
train.
Do you know what I have to say?
Depends what speed the train's going at.
That's true.
I'm not being rude, and I understand that people have problems. I do see that as the height of selfishness. I hate being delayed. Because that's what we were saying. A friend of mine was delayed on a train because in Morpeth they jump. It's like Chechnya. They jump off the top of the train station.
Chechnya?
Yeah. Well, they throw homos off buildings. It's outrageous.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
People don't understand why we still need pride. It's too much.
Yeah.
I can't cope. Anyway, back to your red flags. So you didn't kill yourself on the choo-choo.
No.
Very wise.
I stayed alive.
Oh, can I ask a question? Is the coil in or out now?
Oh, it's out now.
Oh, it's out now.
Yeah, I was suicidal, so I think I better get it out.
Oh, because of a coil.
Yeah. It changes your hormones. Like, there's a lot of stuff that, like, contraception that women have to take where the side effects are, like, very, very detrimental to your health. I mean, you put on weight, like, if anyone gives a shit about that. Or you could, like... you definitely. I'm bringing down the tone of the podcast, but
Oh no, that was done possibly week 3.
The minute we opened our mouth on day 1 of recording
we've
this.
really plumbed the depth.
Well,
So
for me, like suicidal ideation is like ideation. It's such a funny word because I've never used it. I've never used it in any other context other than suicide.
And what does
Like, you'd love
ideation mean? What
It
does
means
that?
like
Just the
you're
thought-
thinking about
the thought
it. You know,
of it.
you can have holiday ideation. Do you know, where you just want to go on holiday. You're making plans. Like,
Okay.
but
it- like
some people might see suicide as the ultimate holiday.
exactly.
Well, they might.
All inclusive. Yeah,
Well,
it's all inclusive. It is. Yeah. yeah.
and the thing is as well.
I'm from Ireland.
Honey, listen.
I know.
Oh, I know, as if we don't have enough
I would like to
problems.
say that we're not pro-suicide. We're just trying to find the humour in any
No,
situation.
well, you've got to find the humour in every situation.
You gotta-
Otherwise,
yeah.
what's the fucking point?
Because it's either that or like people were so weird about suicide before. Like in Ireland years ago, you weren't allowed to be buried in a consecrated church because you committed suicide. And it's like, just, so it's like, just joke about
But
it.
the thing is with suicide, like quite seriously,
Yeah.
I find it Very, very sad. So we've had 2 suicides.
You find it very, very sad.
Yeah, very sad.
That's lovely.
Thank you,
That's
thank you. But if you think about, because when people go, oh, it's selfish or this, that, and the next thing, right? You're like, you don't know what these people are thinking.
No.
And imagine
Yeah.
that's the only thing that's getting you through, knowing that you're checking out.
Yes,
That
and I
must be
think that's
awful.
the ultimate with most people. Again, similarly, I've had a few people commit suicide and close to me, and
Not because of horror or shows or anything
well,
like
no,
that.
at one point I really did think, because I mean, so many of my friends have committed suicide, that you start to kind of question it to yourself. But when my friend, well, Chris, I think you knew Chris, she hung herself, and then I was with her sister for days. But she was the first one that said, do you mean we were traumatized and just kind of, why she'd done it? And after about a week, her sister turned around to me and said, where do you think she learned to tie knots? And honestly, we absolutely fell about laughing, because it was just that kind of release from grief and trauma. But you do have to, but with Chris and with other friends of mine, you go, they genuinely think that everyone else would be better off without them. And that's the kind of, whatever the mental state is. But
A fella I knew shot himself when I was about 6, but my mum didn't want to tell me that he shot himself and explain the concept of suicide. So she said that he died by cleaning his gun, and that there was a gun accident. But I knew he had a very long gun, so I was like, how does one have an
Yes.
accident with a shotgun? You know what I mean? Anyway, there's a bit of fault for you there. But the show isn't about, it's about loads of different stuff. That's a tiny bit of it. But I know that once you sprinkle a bit of that into the chat, people are like, oh shit, we better talk about this. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, no,
Like, it's such a-
absolutely.
yeah.
And where is the show on, and how is you going, and are you enjoying the festival?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm on at 4:45 every day in the
You and me
Pleasance
both, so
Courtyard.
that cancels each other out.
Yeah.
Where are
Oh,
you on? Yeah,
brilliant.
where is that?
Pleasance Courtyard in the attic.
Oh, lovely.
And it's like a lovely, I really like the show. I'm having a nice time this year. The first time I did the Fringe was, my first show was called Alison Spittle Needs an Agent. And
did you get one?
no, it was a cry for help that was left unanswered.
Rejection can be so
Unanswered.
depressing.
I know, like many stand-up shows. And I had an Irish documentary crew following me. I had done comedy about 2 years, so I really shouldn't have been doing an hour, but I felt like I'd written an hour's worth of material, but not a show. And the documentary crew were following me, and the whole documentary finished. It was following 5 different Irish comedians and their journey in Edinburgh. And they finished on me just crying, going, I haven't validated myself as a comedian. And it's just like, I'm just roaring. It was a really horrible time, but it helped me loads. Learn
So do you?
stuff.
I think there is that juxtaposition, that catch-22, isn't it? That you look back and go, I shouldn't have done an hour too soon, that early on.
definitely.
But at the time you think, well, that's the next step.
Yeah.
So you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know, so you do it, and then later go, I shouldn't have done
a
it.
live podcast.
No, sound like a genius idea we had. Yeah. Well,
I
retrospect
love
will
it.
be coming and biting us on the arse.
Where about in Ireland are you from?
Westmeath, so that's right in the middle of it.
Right. Did you see that thing that was about hairdressers? And they were next to the butchers, and the people. No, there's a point to this because it's set in Ireland. Come on, focus. And it's a film, by the way. Sorry, I'm not trying to trick you. And it's
Is
about.
it called Deadly Cut?
Yes. Have you seen that?
No.
You just took Nacy's ear
Oh,
off.
sorry.
Nacy
Oh,
had
my
his
God.
producer earphones
sorry,
on,
dear.
and you deafened the poor boy.
Sorry, love. I've never met anyone that's not seen it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Oh, that's good. I know the lady that wrote it.
Oh,
So,
did you?
yeah. I still have to see it, though. But, I'm sure.
You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I will. I
Because
know I
there's
will.
murder in it.
Oh, great. What makes you think I like murder just because I like suicide? There's a different thing.
I'm just trying to think.
Doesn't have to go hand in hand, murder
No.
and suicide.
No. Let yourself
Everything's
get caught.
subjective.
You know?
Would you kill anyone? Do
No.
you think you're
Ooh.
capable of murder?
No, I'm not.
I think we're all
No.
capable of murder.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely,
think?
100%. Yep, 100%.
Yeah, I'm pro-murder.
No,
I would like to
okay.
think I wouldn't do it, but I know.
There are some people that are begging to be murdered.
I definitely
And I've named
think
them all.
your emotions can be pushed and tested to such an extreme that you would. I think every single one of us
Well,
would
that
be
happened to me
capable.
in The Waitress when they discontinued that shower
Yes,
gel.
exactly.
It's nothing short of a
Very
travesty, in
nearly.
all honesty.
Very nearly bloodshed.
It's absolutely appalling. What was going to say, you're in the attic and
Yes.
you're wearing flowers. Are you channeling one of the flowers,
Flowers in the attic. Oh my God.
Oh, I hear that's a really depressing film,
Oh,
isn't it?
it's an even more depressing book. Oh.
Oh, cool. No, I haven't. I need another
Flowers
one
in the
I have to
attic.
see.
That's incest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love the way you
Fabulous.
pointed. Like, you know.
That's incest.
That's incest to the man from Dundee. Like, that's
I have not slept with my brother or sister. That's disgusting. don't. You lived under a bridge. Shut up, you disgusting lady. Honest, that's what I hate about that thing, bromance. I was always brought up to believe that incest was wrong. And then they go
Well,
on
it
about
is.
bromance.
Yeah. Sorry, when did this change? Is there a Fringe show I haven't seen where they're going to
It's on at the
change-
caves. It's called Hello Goodbye. And it's set in a train carriage. Oh my God. Do you go and see other shows?
I do. What have I seen? I've seen I've been watching. I watched Red Richardson yesterday. He was really good.
Oh,
We've had him on the
you'd
podcast.
have to
it's
see that.
very
He's
funny.
still here.
Shots fired. Fully recommend it. It's a great show. It's like.
And aren't you glad that it's the last time Red's going to be at the Fringe and you've been?
Yes.
Do you know what? I'm sad about that, but I get it in a way. But I feel like the Fringe is still young, and that.
Well, it's 75.
Yeah.
That's
But-
not young.
You know, I think Red will come back and do like maybe.
I don't think he will. I think he's
I
very
think-
firm. And I admire his kind
No,
of
I think he'll do
Marxist-
like a week at the Monkey Barrel. Do you know
A
what I
week of the
mean?
Monkey-
Or
The
something.
Well,
Monkey
you
Barrel
see,
keeps
there is.
coming up.
We do this, though, don't we? Every year, like I say that I'll ease myself in gently, and I've been in the Loft Bar every night for 5 nights. But that thing where you're in the middle of the festival, you go, I'm never doing this again, and roll round, do you know what I mean, the brochure for next year, and you go, oh,
Well, he
maybe
does-
I'll do a week, or, oh, yeah.
He does such a good hour that like it would be a shame. It would be great. I don't know how we as comedians can like make hours each year without Edinburgh. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's a good point,
Like I
actually.
would never write anything that would fit in with each other than, you know.
That's what that guy Glenn Moore was saying. That he, the reason that. He
Oh my
can-
God! I said something the same as Glenn Moore. I feel so
my
intelligent.
God.
Oh,
Is he clever?
amazing!
Is he clever? I didn't get that vibe.
I didn't-
Not a bit of it. I mean, lovely. And
Yeah.
looks like Claire Balding. I mean, fantastic. But no, that's what he was saying was because if you announce that you're doing it, it's the deadline to write the show. If you
Yes.
see what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think you are correct in that.
Yeah, because if it was the case, I'd be like peddling around pregnancy notices, which is a bit I used to do for ages, and it really is for me like one of my favorite jokes I wrote, because like I got tags off people. It was interesting, like watching the other conversation about comedians, and like I would have a comedian come up to me and go, "That's a good bit for this bit," and I would add it all together, and it'd be like 12 minutes, and I would have a laugh, and I really like this piece that I have on the coil this year, and it's like 22 minutes now, and that'll be my club set, but I wouldn't have worked on it as hard without the hour.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
absolutely true.
You know,
That's the ideal, isn't it? That you do the hour and then you have a new, club
Yeah.
set out of it as
I
well.
can't do like there's other bits like wanking that I couldn't
You can't
use
do
in the club.
wanking.
Yeah.
Is that due to carpal tunnel or a lack of desire?
A bit of both.
Oh, I
a bit
know.
of both.
I mean, why do it yourself when someone could do it for you?
That's true.
Employ
Um,
staff.
Yeah.
Well, you can't employ. Well, you can actually. You can pay people for that kind of thing.
I think so.
Alice, it's been lovely.
It's
Thank
been
you for
lovely.
joining us.
Thank you. Sorry for bringing
Thank
up
you.
suicide in the first
Oh,
3 minutes.
No, we're
Oh,
not.
Normally a conversation cul-de-sac, but with you,
No.
I've learned so much.
Yeah,
It's been brilliant. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very
A
much.
round of applause for the
indeed.
wonderful Alison Spittle. Have a lovely day, my darling. Elliot Bibby, comedian. Are you comedian of the year this year, or?
See you later,
Do you know
Dave.
what awards have you won recently?
Hi, Elliot.
Hi, Elliot.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Again, we've had Red, now we've got you.
Yeah.
I definitely
Before,
feel
after.
like I've missed the memo on what was today's
Well.
outfit du jour.
So, Elliot, thank you for joining us. For the people in the audience, you are an internationally acclaimed magician. Have you seen
He's
him?
phenomenal. Elliot Bibby,
no.
magician. Superb.
You're a recent father,
Yes.
a
recent
crashing
father.
bore. Loads of stuff going on. Elliot and I know each other through, do you remember all those halcyon days in Mundane Cabaret? It's a club called Wild Cabaret, but there was nothing wild about it. And on a Sunday, we were up against a rotisserie. It was an all-you-can-eat thing where the kids ate free.
Yeah.
And that food was honking, wasn't it?
It was.
They were quite depressing weekends.
Yeah, they were, especially when you get booked for like all of them.
Yes.
The
yes.
Wednesday nights as well.
Oh,
did
no, I
the-
never did the Wednesdays.
I love that the idea that you get booked for all of them is what makes it more depressing. The
Oh,
more
but it
work,
was Jojo.
a lot of work is the worst thing to get.
I mean,
No, I
You 'cause you
appreciate. I
stepped
do
in for
know
me.
yes.
I mean, we were, again, on a Sunday, you were competing against a carvery, which wasn't particularly great. And of course, and do you still see Polly Hoops?
I see her online.
Is she living online?
Doing PT stuff now.
All right, okay.
That's all
yeah,
I've seen of her.
Right. And do you see anything of Jesus?
Nope.
No,
No.
neither do I.
Nope,
Not
not seen
the
him.
Jesus. It's someone that looks like Jesus. Well, Jesus in a BG, really. Chris Wilson. He's very good. Go and
He's
see
fantastic.
him.
Yeah.
He's very good. What are you doing in your show? What's the name of your show this year?
So my show's called Elliot Bibby and the Magical Beach Ball.
Right.
Right. And like this is my 9th year doing the Fringe.
Okay.
I'm taking it on a technicality because I did it virtually 2 years ago. So
Right,
kept
okay.
that going. And I've always been sort of comedy magic, and this year I wanted to do a sort of emotional show, and I was like, it's not really me to do that. So I've done the show, and there's a sort of emotional twist at the end about mental health. But ideally, the show I thought it would be a really good idea to get a big celebrity or influencer to help with the show to promote it. But the only person in my price range was a celebrity beach ball called Barry. So it's basically Barry the beach ball and me doing a double act where he doesn't speak, but he does speak to me, and with a twist at the end. So
That's very deep.
yeah,
I hope you don't expose your child to any of this nonsense.
no, well,
How old is the
baby?
child? Oh,
4 months. No. 4 months, but my fiance and her have gone up to Skye for the first 10 days of the Fringe
Well,
Right.
that's
to give me some
smart.
Space.
to network and focus on the show.
Do you mean
Yeah.
staying out all night
Yeah,
drinking?
getting
Exactly
pissed.
that, yeah.
Network.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
In the loft till 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you been out to the Loft Bar? She's obsessed.
not Loft Bar yet. No,
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
no.
I mean, do you know who I did meet last night? Steve Ellithorne.
Oh,
And I
he's
forgot how
lovely.
nice he was.
Yeah, very nice man.
Genuinely.
So
very,
he's
very
staying with
nice.
Julia Chamberlain, but Julia Chamberlain's now tested positive for COVID, so I don't know what they've made their new arrangements or if they just locked her in a room, shut the key. Although I don't know what the requirements are now with
Moving
that.
on.
Oh no, sorry, I'm not allowed to speak. I'm banned.
No, I don't think you have to isolate anymore or
No,
any
I
of
didn't
that
think
kind
you
of
did.
stuff.
I didn't think you had to test.
I don't know. Is anyone still washing their hands? I mean, like,
I
obviously
know.
after the toilet.
Exactly. I
You
know.
know.
Let's move on, indeed.
No, but exactly. So is she up here with the COVID? Oh, it could be another case over here. So how much of it is the beach ball and how much is magic?
So it's all magic. It's all
Right.
magic, and then Barry sort of just helps out with a few bits, does a bit of mind reading, and
And are you doing that at the Voodoo Rooms with Julianne?
yes, in the
Yes.
Voodoo Rooms. Slightly later time of 7:50.
Oh.
Yeah, moving
But
up.
you've steadily, like over the past couple of years, Julianne Laidlaw is a very, very well-respected promoter.
And I
producer.
thought she wasn't doing anything this year. I thought she wasn't involved because she'd kind of drifted off
I
doing
don't
other
know.
things.
I mean, I know she was doing something with Airbnb, and then she'd done a night class, and then she was trying to convert a camper van because she's a masseuse now. Not that kind of masseuse, but, sports massage. But because I remember doing a lot of stuff with her, and you've gone from like early, so you're graduating.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I mean, I started out doing the Free Fringe Festival, and the very first year I did Edinburgh, I did everything myself. I was flyering, I was doing my own tech via remote control, I was literally, and then performing the show, and yeah, everything. And now I've gradually worked my way up to a paid show.
But that is the thing that, I mean, I am so lazy. You're one of the most, and I mean that genuinely, industrious and hardworking. You really, you are. It's almost sickening, but I suppose you've
it's
got a
very
child.
irritating.
Well, exactly. but your work ethic is amazing because you just don't seem to stop.
Nah,
You're
I don't-
relentless. Because all over lockdown, you were everywhere online. You really kind of took that by the horns and went for it.
Yeah,
And did very well.
Yeah, during the lockdown, it was for the first week. When everything got cancelled, I cried because as well as doing the sort of comedy magic on stage, I'd do a lot of wedding magic.
Yeah.
In 2018, I was the British champion for close-up magic. So
Give me a round of applause,
Yeah,
please,
fantastic.
please.
Superb.
And yeah, so I took that and I thought, right, what can I do? There's only so many Zoom quizzes and stuff I can do every week, and only so many tricks my fiance will put out for me showing her in the flat. So I thought, let's basically make a Zoom show. So I created a Zoom show. I performed it over 700 times in like
Wow.
2 years, basically doing everything. And it was.
Did you get paid for that? Did people give you donations and stuff?
Oh, it was all corporate. So I hate telling people this, but like that December in 2020 was the best month I've ever done in my business.
Wow.
Because
Don't tell Nicola, she'll be angry.
because usually when you do like a corporate, you obviously get a good fee, but you do like 1 or 2 a day. I was sitting there in a pair of shorts, and then I made that mistake once when my camera battery died and I had to stand up. I was sitting like behind the table, so I stood up, and then the camera came back on. And it looked as if I was sitting there in my pants doing this show.
Oh.
So from that point on, I was wearing trousers, but I would do like 7 or 8 shows a day
That's amazing.
at my normal corporate fee.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it
No
was.
wonder you had a baby. You can afford it.
Yeah.
So it was good.
But as well, I mean, again, a huge admiration for people that did see, do you know what I mean, take what was a horrific situation and manage to, make it work to your benefit, and even more so make it work to your benefit. So the fact that things are open up again, you've still got that string to your bow that you've made work really well for you.
It did feel really awkward the first few shows, and the only way I could describe it is being like a sort of sex cam girl, where you're literally sitting there in front of a
Babe
camera.
station.
Exactly that, just performing to the camera, and then you're like, okay, bye, and then you just hear, ka-ching, oh, just being paid, I'll go make myself a cup of tea in the kitchen, or that's the only way I could describe
Did you ever tweak your own nipple?
Not on purpose.
No, right, okay. No, I think it's important to ask these kind of things. Would you want to go into online sex work?
No.
No.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
that's fair enough.
Although talking of the, I don't know where I'm segueing with this, but I
Is it about the coil?
no, no, it's not. There is a coil within. Right, so a year and a half ago, I started a TikTok account as a joke where all I do is make toasties,
Wow.
and it's sort of everyone was taking the piss out of me, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to continue doing it. I had like 12 followers. And then it's just gone mad. So, like, my videos are getting millions of views. I'm doing brand deals, and it's almost overtaking my magic at how
Really?
big
What
it is.
Making
Yeah.
toasties.
So all I do is make. So the TikTok's called Toasty King, and it started off, and then there was like people writing articles about it. Going,
Is there cheese?
yeah, cheese.
Oh.
I've done literally hundreds of toasties.
So can I say something? I'm delighted for you, and congratulations. I have huge admiration for anybody that manages to come up with something that goes through and makes it all viral. But I really am concerned about the state of the world if that is what people are tuning into by their millions. That's it. I'm out.
It's not just like a cheese and ham toasty. It's like I'm putting
Oh, it's
everything
not
in
just
there.
a
So
cheap-
I'm like having like a chicken
People are still
madras.
just watching you make a toasty, though. This is my takeaway line from this.
Now, I'm quite interested in this, obviously. Are you using sourdough?
I've not used sourdough yet. No.
Right, so you should.
Okay.
And also, I'm affiliated with WW. Could you do one that's within my personal points?
Yes. Well, that was one thing because I've got over like 50k followers now on this toasty account, 50,000 people, and I thought, how can I try? Because I've kept it completely separate from the magic. I didn't even have my face in it to start with. I thought, keep it separate. And people were posting about it on like social media going, oh, who's this Toasty King? And my mates were talking about it. I'm like, oh, don't know, it looks quite good though, doesn't it? And they had no idea for a year until I started
that's
putting my
brilliant.
stuff in, until last Christmas where I did a deal with Misguided, the clothing company.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they got in touch and they're like, right, can we just send you some clothes from our sort of menswear? You just wear it and make a pigs in blankets Christmas toasty for us. And I was like, yep, fine, do it. So they paid me a fee, they sent me the clothes, and I was like, great. But I've
How
always,
much do they pay for things like that?
well, I got £500 for that.
That's amazing.
But I don't have like an agent or a manager. I just do it all myself and just sort of.
Oh, you're very wise, because they're just shysters. So what else in the toasties? I'm interested in the fillings.
Okay, so I have done a few sort of ridiculous ones. Like I put a whole block of cheese in.
What's
Just
ridiculous about that?
No.
Well, it was one of the worst toasty I made. The biggest mistake was, so I always used a Breville toasty machine, and my little catchphrase was "Bring the Breville down" as I shut the machine. Right.
That's very clever.
It is very good.
And then I was emailing Breville about 7 or 8 times, going, "Hey, can I work with you? Can we do this?" And they were like, "No, we're not taking on any influencers at the moment." So then I got I basically did a video of me throwing the Breville toasty machine in the bin, saying, "Oh, Breville are terrible. I've got this new one," and it was from Tower Housewares.
Yes.
So,
Oh, that's who made my air fryer.
well, I'm talking of that. They're now paying me per video to use their products. So I do like 4 videos a month for them. And if you use the code ToastyKing20, you get 20% off toasty machines and air fryers. There you go.
Oh my God. Well, can I just say,
Amazing.
bugger Breville, they missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
How rude.
That is actually, sod them.
That's genius.
But I loved it. Well, my mum wanted an air fryer, so I was
Who
on
doesn't?
I was on the phone to Tower, and I said, "Oh, you don't happen to do air fryers by any chance?" Knowing fine well they do, because I'd
course.
researched them.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Oh yeah, we do. We'll send you one if you want." I was like, "Yeah, that'd be great. I'll do a few videos for you." So I've been making the sort of ingredients in the air fryer to then put in the toasties. So I've got the rotisserie chicken one. So I've done like chicken tikka in it,
Oh,
and
wow.
can then
my
put that
God.
in the toaster.
I'm beginning to think the air fryer gets so many mentions on this podcast that's just who we should approach for
Well,
a little bit of a sponsorship.
absolutely.
Thank you
I'll put
very
you in
much.
Well, do you put us in touch? Yes, no, that's all. Well, I'm very keen. So I can't work TikTok. I don't understand it. I don't think it's aimed at my age group.
No, it's not, but you'd be amazing at what takes light and things. So, I mean, they even enjoy what I do on TikTok. So,
Oh,
do
sorry,
you know what I mean?
you
There's
on
a market.
TikTok? Were you on
Yes.
tour?
Yes.
Yes,
I
right,
know.
Okay. Yes. A while ago. Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
With the cost of living crisis, do you think that air fryers will replace conventional ovens? If Tower are listening, the
Yes.
answer is yes, Elliot.
Yes, I think-
But
I
it's
think
funny,
it's-
I
think
always,
will.
I have a friend who has a gin company, and I always say, God, I forget that you make gin. What does it taste like? And then she'll send a bottle.
I know, well, we talk about other comedians, but do you talk about other magicians? I did see Magical Bones last night. Are you familiar with his work?
Yes. Yes.
I think he's phenomenal. I've never
Yeah.
seen him
Yes.
before.
It's great.
So it's one of those things that I like to see new. But has he been going long?
Yeah, well, he's been on Britain's Got Talent. I think he reached the semi-finals last year.
Right, okay. That's,
Were you not in that? Did I not put you forward for that?
I was on Britain's Got Talent for about 6 seconds, just in a sort of montage, so technically that still counts.
But
doesn't
did Mandy not get in touch with you?
it? I think she did, but then I didn't really want to go down that route of doing it. I think there's got to be a reason for doing Britain's Got Talent, and at the moment, like, I don't... The one thing I sort of learned through lockdown is I don't want to be famous.
no, absolutely.
I really don't want to be famous.
I think that's what people don't realise. Is
Yeah.
that I want
Oh, I mean, I am. It's hellish.
No. But the idea of I've seen so many people who are well known, and not just being able to go and get a pint of milk without getting hassle and stuff. I would loathe and
Well,
detest.
now that you've got Dairy Rebellion, do you know how you had Climate Rebellion? They were gluing themselves to. Now you've got twit vegans running into Marks and Spencers and throwing all the milk around.
No.
Pricks.
Well, I actually did a vegan toasty.
Oh,
And
Elliot, no.
I just did a video of me pretending to make stuff, and it was just all invisible, and it was
That's
just a
very
piss
wise.
take, to be honest.
No, I think the whole vegan thing, I think, you know, that's great, and I'm a huge fan of Stella McCartney. But apparently, if you like cheese, as I do, apparently you have to give up cheese the year before you become vegan, so you accept a vegan substitute.
Yes, because it's incredible how your stomach kind of behaves badly if you cut out things or put things back in. My daughter was vegetarian for about 5-6 years, and then she was discussing going travelling into countries where she might have to. She was going to do some volunteering somewhere, but anyway, that she would probably not be able to follow a vegetarian diet given the country she was going to, so started to eat meat in advance of that, because you can't just suddenly not eat meat and then eat meat again.
Was that the same when you stopped drinking?
Yes. Yeah, all of those things, anything. Caffeine, if you stop taking caffeine. Frankie Boyle, when he stopped drinking coffee, had the horrendous headaches for days and days and days and days.
I gave up alcohol at the start of the year because I was trying to do that sober January thing.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
see
why?
how
You
far
love
I
a
could do it.
drink.
Yeah, I know, but I think I gave up and I got to like day 3 and I was like in shaking, I was cold sweats, and I'm like, surely this isn't because of the alcohol. Did a COVID test, had COVID. That's what it was.
Ah.
I was
what a
like,
relief. Yeah,
I know,
what a relief.
What a relief, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
you
'cause
don't
that
want
would
to
have
quit drinking for some ridiculous emotional problem.
No.
Elliot, where can people find you again, please?
You find me on social media at Elliot Bibby Magic, and this month at the Fringe at the Voodoo Rooms at 7:50 p.m. every day apart from Mondays, and I'm not doing the last weekend.
Quite
That's
right.
fair enough. Well, I don't think you need to with all your Toasty revenue.
I know.
Would you like to plug the Toasty account again?
Yeah, at Toasty King on
I'm
TikTok
actually
and
genuinely
Instagram.
quite good. I'm going to go
I
and look
wonder
at
if
it now.
Toasty King would like a Toasty Queen.
Oh,
For a collab.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
We could do a murderer's Toasty.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Planning to kill. You don't want to do that on an empty stomach.
What is both your favourite toasties? And I'll do a special videos for you.
I'm very plain and simple. I love a cheese and onion. I just love cheese and onion. Although cheese and onion and those
Use your words,
tomatoes, but not tomatoes. Roasted tomatoes. What are those ones?
Oh, sun-dried tomatoes.
Sun-dried tomatoes. Thank you.
Do you cook the onion first, or do you put the onion in raw?
I don't know. I put it in raw.
Put it in raw.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not the only thing she puts in raw.
Oh, and we're back to me.
As ever, you're a revelation. Thank you
Thank
for joining
you.
us.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you so much, Elliot.
Oh, and thank you for joining
Thank you
us.
for joining
Thank you,
us.
Lenka. There we are.
Here we are.
I know. And we've only got one more week of me.
Another day, yes.
Yes,
Another week of you, and
yes,
then we
yes.
pop you off to London.
Yes.
And then
to
I
find
have to
Paddington.
deal. Yes, to find Paddington, and I'll have to deal with Nisi over
You'll
there.
have to deal with Macy, but that's
Right.
fine. Plans for the day, dear?
I'm going to go and lie on my beanbag in the
Oh,
loft
right.
bar.
Lovely. Good.
Speak
Okay,
to you
toodles.
later. Bye.